Hey, everybody out there in YouTube land. It is the Wrecked Room's second edition of the podcast. The Wrecked Room, the shower beer of podcasts, if you will. I am Steven Sunshine Spock. We got Chase Barraza and Josh Massey on the line. And boys, bit of a fucking landmark moment for the old podcast. First video podcast we're putting out.
First video. Now you can see our
we can put a face to the names.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody's gonna be able to walk by me on the street anymore without knowing that I'm in the Wrecked Room.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start having my posse around me when I go places now.
Yeah, I think Mark Wahlberg has a good guy he recommended to me one time. Okay, so
yeah, we're gonna have to go in a posse. We'll call ourselves the Chixie Dicks.
There you go. I like it. Okay, and another landmark moment. We finally actually have a format. We actually have a structure we're going to be following here on the old Wrecked Room, and that starts off with our very first topic, and we like to call it First Blood. And who's drawing First Blood today?
Chase.
Chase. Right,
First
Chase
Blood.
Gibber.
Let's. I think we're going to touch on the recent fights that have gone on in the past couple of weeks. We had the UFC bout that just happened, and we have the Jake Paul fight 2 weeks ago, which left me absolutely heartbroken. You know, I
not
thought
caring at Walmart, eh?
Yeah, I thought for sure. Okay, I thought Ben Askren, hands down, not a doubt in my mind, had that fight. As a professional fighter, his whole life, wrestling, all that. I understand
he was
in the UFC.
a wrestler, though. He was never really a boxer.
But I understand being in combat sports
ever. Yeah. Like in combat sports history, like he is known for he's a zombie. Like he just walks through punches and tries to grab.
And that's what it looked like. I didn't think it was good. Like I didn't check out many of his previous fights. You know, all I know is he was in the UFC, he was in, combat sports. And usually when you're in combat sports, you learn a little bit about everything. You're proficient in one thing, but you usually dabble in a little. He looked like shit out there. He looked like a 200-pound toddler.
Well, see, and that's, like you said, with the world of fights kind of going into madness over this YouTuber bullshit, and I do think it's bullshit. Jake Paul, I mean, the moment he mentioned Ben Askren, I was like, okay, there's a reason. It's exactly why he picked him, is just what you said, Chase, is that he is a pro fighter and he's actually pretty decorated. He's won a lot of titles outside of the UFC. He's never won a UFC title, but
I think Ben Askren, doesn't Ben have like the record for the fastest person KO'd in the UFC as well?
Yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, so he was quite decorated. He is a pro fighter and he's been doing it for a long time. He's got a bit of a name. People know who he is in the fight world. But Jake Paul jumped all over that because he knew Ben Askren he is god awful at fucking fighting.
Marketed that perfectly because he knew that by fighting an actual fighter, that was his foot in the door. Mm-hmm. But Dana White wants nothing to do with this kid.
Well, and rightly so, because
how old is Ben Askren?
Ben Askren's like 34, 36, somewhere around
34, there. And Jake Paul's 23. He's still wet behind ears yet.
Oh yeah, he's still a kid. And then another thing is the fight was at 190 pounds. Ben Askren's always been a welterweight, so he was 20 pounds overweight. Like you saw him at the fight, he was not looking in good shape. Not that Ben Askren's ever been ripped or anything, but he's doughy, he's soft. He looks like somebody's uncle just got off a flight from Florida.
Ben Askren's 36.
There you go.
And Jake round is a case. Don't take that away.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, he's never even when he is in shape, he still looks like the dad at the UFC fights, but he's in better shape.
But you know what? Regardless of what happened, he's a genius. He didn't give a fuck, win, lose, or draw. He walked away with $500,000.
That was probably still to this day the highest paying fight he's ever been in.
I'll get knocked out for $500,000. Fuck, do it. If anybody wants to give me $500,000, come do it.
How much money did that fight generate? Like 54 million?
Something like that. I don't know.
Like this.
So Jake Paul's been bragging about it, but you can never trust that guy. He's just like Money Mayweather. He's just saying fucking numbers that sound impressive. It was probably
the thing is he's smart as hell by doing it the way he's doing it though. Like the payout he got, he's like he's gonna look like a complete fool on the internet, and everybody's gonna trash talk him, but he's laughing the whole way to the bank after shit like this.
Oh yeah.
1.5 million pay-per-view buys, $75 million generated. They say it's in the top 10 for pay-per-view purchases for boxing of all time. We're talking Tyson, everybody. It's in top.
I had my money on Jake Paul in the beginning. Like, I know the kid is he's not a rookie in the gym by any means. I think he used to train at the same gym as Floyd Mayweather for a while. And
they rode his dick for a long time.
Yeah, and like, he's a big guy. Like, how tall is Jake Paul? He's what, 6'5" or something like that. He's a big guy.
He's like 6'2", maybe.
Yeah. But now this begs a question: is he a legit fighter? Do you give him a real boxer? Like,
I mean,
you put him against a boxer.
I hope they do, just to shut him up. But like, as a legitimate fighter, no. Because if you look at any of the guys that are even on the bottom of a real fight card for the boxing, the bottom guys have like 15 fights. Yeah. You know, when you want to get to be pro, you got to be looking at 25 plus fights before anybody takes you serious.
Yeah, a good amateur fighter would KO Jake Paul, no problem.
Dude, a Golden Gloves level fighter would knock his ass out. Like, like not even a decent, like, coming up pro. We're talking just like a Golden Gloves guy who does boxing on the weekends, who's had more than a year training, would beat.
You know what's going to be really fun though?
He's afraid to get hit. Jake Paul does not like getting hit.
You know what's going to be really fun to watch?
What's that?
Jake's brother Logan Paul going against Floyd Mayweather.
Oh God,
is that really a thing?
Yeah,
it's a thing. It's oh Christ! It was supposed to be in February.
Yeah, they pushed it back for some reason, and that's going to be so boring because Floyd is so much smaller and has no power. So he's just going to be punching him for fucking 10 rounds. Logan Paul's not going to feel anything, and he's not going to land one punch because Mayweather's too quick and dodgy.
Yeah.
It's going to go Homer Simpson in the ring taking a whole shitload of punches, and then at the end, he can just, the other guy just so gassed, he just pushes him over.
Mayweather's basically going to be like that fly when you're sleeping in a tent that just buzzes around and you're swatting at it and you can't hit the fucking thing.
Keep slapping yourself on the face in the dark trying to hit it.
June 5th.
The mosquito in your ear. So
is when this happens.
Mr. Mike couldn't join us tonight. I don't know what he's doing, but I think he's working.
Yeah, he's busy at his second job at the massage parlor.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I forgot he took that job.
There you go. But like the Logan, like I keep hearing everybody say, anybody who's really into the combat sports, they're always saying that these fights are bad for the sport, and I agree. And I think the guys that we have to blame for this shit are Mayweather and McGregor, because that was the first one.
Yeah.
And I mean,
do you really think that it's bad for the sport though? Like,
yes,
it's bad for the sport for people who have been interested in combat sports their whole lives.
Do you think it's helping it out because Logan Paul brings a crap load of a younger generation to, like you said, it was what you said, one of the top 10 biggest pay-per-views ever. Well, and bringing more younger people into the sport, as shitty as it is of him bringing them in, they're still being brought into the sport and making it more.
So it's bringing them in, but it's bringing them in for the wrong reasons. It's bringing them in not to watch combat sports. It's bringing them in
to see
the popularity of the person that they're following in.
Exactly.
I mean, it's cool that Jake has, won 3 rounds in boxing, but let's face it, he beat a YouTuber. He beat a basketball player, and he beat the worst striker in the UFC. Yeah. He hasn't really boxed a boxer. I mean, if he
hasn't boxed an actual combat athlete that can fight.
Yeah.
You know what? I know what you're saying, Josh, with him bringing, yes, he brings a lot of attention, and that's what he keeps saying is I'm bringing more eyes, I'm bringing more money. But like you said, Chase, it's not the sport. They're not watching the sport there. Because if Jake Paul wins, the only thing that guarantees is Jake Paul gets another fight. He's not anywhere near a belt. He's not actually fucking ranked in the pro boxing ranks. He has nothing to do with the sport. It's like saying if you went to like a Foxy boxing competition, watching topless chicks punch each other, that you're helping boxing out. No, you're not. You're out there looking at a show that you wanted to go see. And Jake Paul, yes, he brings a lot of eyes, gets a lot of people into
Basically,
it, but it's
glamour
got
boxing.
nothing to do with the sport.
Yeah. It's like celebrity boxing.
Well, exactly.
Glamour boxing, pretty
It's
much.
like Vanilla Ice boxing for celebrity boxing matches. That didn't help the sport of boxing. That helped Vanilla pay one more mortgage payment, so no, I think it's garbage.
I think Jake bought like probably 9 properties with his, but
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah.
And you know what?
Right.
For the younger generation that's loving this, I mean, it's great for them. But for guys who have been watching boxing, it's nothing to them. And it's on a new network. It's called Triller or something like that. Like
Thriller.
Yeah.
It's like, I think did you guys actually have you guys actually seen the Jake Paul, the whole thing? Like
No.
the start to finish?
No.
It was it so shows why Jake Paul isn't serious. The fucking panel they had like 8 guys on the panel for some reason.
Snoop was on there.
None of them were boxing guys, except for one guy, Oscar De La Hoya, who they took out of the booth because he was doing coke and he was drunk off his ass. So
wasn't Snoop one of the commentators too?
Yeah, Snoop was,
commentator,
and he wasn't talking about. Nobody was talking about boxing the whole time I was listening.
The commentating was the best part about that fight.
Oh, dude. Pete Davidson's calling Jake Paul a moron and a loser, and he's saying things like, "I'm gonna come when they're announcing the fight." Nobody took it seriously. It was just an absolute dumpster fire of a pay-per-view.
I have to say, Snoop, I don't mind.
Everybody loves Snoop.
Like when he was doing it for the Tyson Holyfield bout, it was funny. The guy, everybody loves him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Snoop can do no wrong. But like I said, the amount of serious actual contribution to any of this was completely null and void. Nobody was taking it seriously. They were joking around while the fighters were walking out. Nobody was talking about it, which is why I reiterate, it has nothing to do with the sport. It just has to do with the show.
It's basically WWE, but
yes, exactly. WWE presents boxing.
Yeah.
Essentially. Now, if you want to talk about the sport, we can talk about the vicious fucking leg break in the latest UFC. Woo! Was that fucking nasty, eh?
When I seen that video, the initial hit where his leg kind of bends around, I'm like, that's not good. But
they always step back
after when he went to go put pressure on it and it folded.
Yeah.
That's
the gross
my
part.
inside hurt, my leg hurt, and I almost threw up and shit myself at the same time. It was bad.
Chills down my spine the whole time. Who else did that? Wasn't it?
There's been plenty of them, but it was funny because Chris Weidman, the guy that broke his leg, he was fighting Uriah Hall. He broke his leg. He broke Anderson Silva's leg.
That's who
their second fight, the exact same fucking way.
Silva still fight after that one? I can't remember.
Yeah, he came back. He
that's a couple. That's a dirty break. That is a close break. That's not just a fracture. That is a clean snap. It is sideways.
That's both your tibia and fibula, both snapped around, gone.
Yeah. Now it was vicious, and it's funny because I've been watching MMA and kickboxing for a long time, and it always happens exactly like that. The guy kicks, and I'm sure it hurts and everything, but he never notices his leg's broken, and they always go to step back on it and then kind of give it like,
my god,
there's no support.
They have no idea until they're trying to stand on a leg that isn't there.
Could you imagine, just imagine the feeling of stepping back on that and then just no.
Yeah.
No.
But did you guys, other than that vicious break, did you guys actually watch the card? It was a hell of a card.
I'm out of town working right now. Actually, I'm in the remote hotel room studio, so I didn't get to watch anything except for the highlights the next day.
Okay. Well, it was a pretty amazing fight. They had 3 title fights on the card, and
I was told that it was one of the better fight cards.
It really was. In a while. It was full of action, a lot of knockouts, a lot of stuff. Jorge Masvidal, the guy who knocked out Ben Askren for the fastest knockout in the UFC, was fighting Kamaru Usman for the welterweight strap. And did he ever get fucking dropped?
Oh, did he?
Oh, yeah. Jorge Masvidal got frickin' starched, man. He went down. He actually looked exactly like Ben Askren did when he got kneed to death.
Just folded.
It was again like
launcher.
Weidman breaks his own leg the way Silva did it, and then Jorge gets knocked out the exact same way Ben did. It was kind of weird. See, like the MMA gods were like, "All right, this is a karma round, bitch."
The karma card.
Yes, but I think we can all agree that Jake Paul is a tool.
Yeah,
and that
he's a smart tool.
Oh yeah, he's doing it right. Like, did you see when he was at the UFC and they started chanting "fuck Jake"?
I've seen videos of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he was at the card and the whole crowd was just screaming "fuck Jake."
But here's the thing:
Jake,
he's like, everybody, fuck.
Oh yeah, he was in there like an orchestra conductor. Just yes.
It doesn't matter what
the more they do
funny.
that, the more exactly. The more they do that, the more he's getting paid.
You're pouring fuel to the fire for him. He's like, fuck, I don't care. Good, bad.
Well, it's like you said with WWE. He's like a bad guy in wrestling. He knows that the more he pisses you off, the more you're going to want to watch him. The more you're going to tune into his fight. So he is doing that quite well. I will give him that. He's very good at being an annoying prick. So good on you, Jake Paul. Thumbs up, bud.
He's like the Doink of the WWE. Remember Doink the Clown?
Doink the Clown, yes. I do. And Dink, his little sidekick. Dink and Doink. Fucking good old times, baby. All right, well, that's First Blood. I think we did a decent round. Now we're moving on to the old Second Wind. Second Wind is the second segment, and I believe that Chase wanted to kind of vent about anti-vaxxers.
You know, here in Saskatchewan, we're finally starting to get the vaccines out.
Mm-hmm.
And the more it gets publicized that this shit's going out, the more of these wingnuts you have coming out of the woodworks now.
Wasn't there just another freedom rally that just happened too not long ago?
Freedom rally, yeah.
In Regina?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. Every day I drive down Pasqua, though, there's like some weird dudes dancing hippie music to
so that's
Dancing Bob. He's around everywhere.
Whatever the fuck that guy is.
The guy that dances no shirt on, from what I'm told, is he's actually a pretty nice guy, and he
seems really happy.
He had his own business or something like that for a while, and then he got into some sort of accident where he got a brain injury, and hasn't been really the same since.
Okay.
And
okay. I think we're thinking of a different dude here, because you're talking about the guy that dances downtown all the time.
No, I think that's the same guy. That dances with no shirt on.
Yeah, he's kind of like a taller fella, long dreads.
Right here.
No? Okay, maybe I'm thinking of somebody else then. There's a lot of weirdos in town, is all I'm saying.
But anyways, so if there was another freedom rally, I hope I don't know. Fuck, what are they trying to accomplish? They're not doing anything. Fuck, anyway.
I think eventually, if people get on this enough, it's kind of like the mask laws and stuff like that. If people just stopped doing it, what would they do? Put us all in jail? They couldn't.
They couldn't do anything, but really, it's not that big of an inconvenience. But
no,
the biggest thing right now is, so we're getting the vaccines out, more and more. I understand we're at a shortage right now, but the more that we get out and the more it's publicized, the more you get these absolute fucking conspiracy theorists out there. Like, I've heard everything from they're injecting a microchip into you to we're getting the vaccines at the same time the 5G networks are coming out to, they're just I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
There's also one person I want to mention who was actually a victim of the whole the virus. He was actually a well-known chef in Regina. His name was Warren Montgomery, and rest in peace to him and condolences to his family. He was a pretty big impact on the community, and it really sucked to see him go. I think he had a kid. His place was called the Big Easy Kitchen.
Never heard of it.
That's the shitty thing right now is, what, with these original COVID didn't really scare me a whole hell of a lot. They've said people who had pre-existing and they were older, it's going to affect you. Younger people, not so bad. Now that this variance has come out and you're seeing guys in their 30s and women in their 30s, you know, dying from this shit or getting put in medically induced comas or being in the ICU, it hits a little closer to home.
Well,
So
and there was an
great.
article, which hospital was it at? It was saying they don't have enough ventilators. So they're literally having to,
I think it's pretty much every hospital doesn't.
Nurses literally have to pick who chooses and who lives and who dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't that what the medical business was always about?
Yeah, but I mean,
I think they wanted
that's
to
like
keep
time
people
of
just
war
alive
almost.
because a patient.
Well, yeah, I'm not downplaying the severity of it. I'm just saying, you know, if you're a doctor, I'm sure they've come across that decision before, and it's always just a matter of who's the, you know, the most likely to get better, who's the most likely to need the help, and they're always going to have to deal with that. Of course, they're kind of pushed to the max right now with all the cases and just being overburdened and stuff like that. I think that's the real hardship with this whole situation is it's not that everybody's so sick they'll never get better, but it's just there's so many people going into the hospital. They're overbooked, they're overstuffed,
way
and
over capacity,
and it's really causing a lot of stress on the people that work there, you know, and it's just not a good situation all around. We can all agree on that.
The whole idea of international flights still coming in
that's stupid.
That is probably the biggest thing that's keeping it going here, in my opinion.
It's bringing new variants.
So what you're saying is it's foreigners. That's pretty reductive, Josh.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
It doesn't have to be foreigners. It could be people who leave and come back in.
That's right.
Whatever.
People who are around foreigners.
But really, you think of it, that's how these variants keep coming. And it's not like there's 2 or 3 variants. There's thousands.
Oh, come on, man. It's the flu. Every year there's a variant.
Okay.
It always happens.
The flu, yes. They
well, this is the flu. It's an influenza strain. That's what COVID is. It's going to change every year. It's always going to do that.
And not many people, I shouldn't say not many people, but some people don't know that every year when you get your flu shot, they've guessed at what cocktail to put into you. Because
because
that's why you can't cure it.
But my biggest thing with this whole anti-vaxxer thing that's going on right now with all these guys like, no, not taking the vaccine. It's something new. There you go. Perfect example. A lot of them were the guys who were making fun of the anti-vaxxers 2 years ago.
Oh, I agree.
I'm not vaccinating my kid because
not vaccinating your kids is fucking nuts.
And
I just don't want to take it.
And there you go. And that's a personal preference.
I'll take
but
my
I mean, the guys that were making fun of these people that are like, I'm not vaccinating my kids. That's bullshit. That's a chemical cocktail that's going to give my kids whatever. Yeah. And now the people who are laughing at them going, you are fucking nuts.
No, my
Those
take
people
on
are now like, don't put that in me. Don't know what's in it.
Yeah.
My take on it is like, I'm not around a whole lot of different people all the time. I have been going from province to province, but I have had minimal contact with everybody as I have, but that's because I'm essential. And I do have a pretty strong immune system. I haven't had a cold or a flu or anything for a long time, years. So I'm not saying I'm invincible, but I'm going to let other people get that vaccine before I am going to.
I'll be taking it as soon as I can. As soon as my age range comes up.
In your case, it's different because you're in your job, Chase. You're around a lot of people at different times of the day, and
the wife's profession, she's around kids a lot. I mean,
and for me, I live in a single household and I have no kids. I got a cat and a dog.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Don't fuck Duke up.
Yeah, Duke.
No, Duke's good.
We'll put Duke on the next podcast.
We can bring him in the next one for sure.
Right. Yeah, put him on this one. All right, you're in the hotel. Never mind. I agree with what you're saying, Chase. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not one of these people that thinks all vaccines are bad. I'm not even saying that this vaccine is bad. I just don't like the way they're going out. You can't make it mandatory. I never get the flu shot. Like, of course, vaccinate your kids against polio and this and that and the other thing. Sure, I am all for that. This one, if the only way they could get me to take it is if they said, look, if you take it, you can now go to your friend's house. You can now visit, people, go out.
And
I take it.
The biggest thing with this right now is people who have been studying viruses have said viruses trend like this. They get stronger and stronger and stronger. They start killing their host. They realize, oh shit, if I kill my host, I die too. Now I have to trend back down. And then they start finding that nice playing field where they can sit there and float. And yes, they're going to still kill some hosts, but for the most part, they're going to make them sick for a little while. The virus is going to be a little factory pumping itself out, and fucking lost.
Case move around. Yeah, I was going to say.
The ghost of
look at that. He starts talking about COVID, and the government just makes him disappear. And you're saying that there's no conspiracy theory here? Exactly. I'm not agreeing with you.
And that's just it. So the flu, of course, you can get the flu shot still to make the symptoms less.
Although isn't the flu no longer a thing because of COVID?
This year, the flu has been eradicated. Time out.
Yeah,
we can't deal with the flu right now. But if you look at it, that's the way the flu has gone. Right off the bat, I'm sure when the flu showed up, it was killing absolutely everything. Sure.
Oh yeah. Once a disease is new, there is gonna be a scary transition period. And of course, we understand why people get worried, because if they're gonna be the ones getting sick or dying, or a loved one or something, that's always scary and a bit intimidating. But like you said, once it becomes kind of more of a normal thing that happens, watch once the panic goes down. Yeah, I guarantee you the mortality rate will start dropping as well.
And once it becomes
they'll stop trying to pin everybody's death to it.
Yeah. The fact of the matter is, it's here. It's not stoppable anymore. It's pretty much it was never controlled properly in the first place, mostly because people didn't want their freedoms taken away, so they didn't want to listen to public health orders or anything like that. And then it's at the point now where each and every one of us is going to get it at some level or another, and we're all going to have different reactions to it. It's just really unfortunate that some people are going to suffer very bad consequences from it.
Yeah.
But at this point right now, whether some people are going to be asymptomatic, some people are going to get on their deathbed, who knows? It's the only thing that really, it's a sad fact of reality of the whole thing.
You know what? I've known a few people who have actually gotten it. I know a couple that got it. He had no symptoms whatsoever. He was like, yeah, free few days off. She, on the other hand, was like in bed sick, like down, out, headaches, shivering.
Yeah, I think it's going to hit everybody different, and it's going to suck for the next little while.
That's just like the flu. If I catch the flu, I'm going to die. If the wife catches the flu, she's like, nah, I don't feel all that bad. But
put a sneeze out every once in a while, and then she's fine.
Her immune system is like through the fucking roof, and me, I'm like,
because she's around dirty kids all day, greasy little fingers getting everything.
I've almost died like 5 times from the man cold, guaranteed, at least.
That's no joke. That's the real epidemic. Is the man cold? Man flu is serious.
Can we find
get your vaccines?
If you're a woman and you've given birth, you almost know what it feels like to have a good man cold.
Yeah. Almost, yeah. You know, maybe if you've had like 6 kids, you're there.
Yeah, at the same time.
John and Kate plus 8. She's the only woman that knows, eh?
So yeah, that's just my rant. You know, I get a kick out of going online and seeing these people on every news post that posts something about a fucking vaccine rollout or a shortage or whatever. It's like the top 5 comments are always those guys who, it's almost like when the trailer park hillbilly sees the alien spaceship, it's always that guy that they get on the news. That's exactly what Facebook is now. The top 5 guys commenting on these vaccine things are the hillbillies that seen the UFO.
Yeah. Their profile picture has a tinfoil hat in it, you know. You're like, all right, this guy must be credible.
Yeah. It says their profile picture and their back banner is I know my right.
Yeah.
So what's on another note, what's because I know we were talking about wanting to be positive about things too. So what are some positive things that happened to you guys in the past little while here that we've been
positive. Well, we finally got this thing going, which is nice.
Which is really awesome.
Although we're still having issues because my mic's not working and this computer I'm on isn't exactly the greatest setup.
You know what? Rome wasn't built in a day.
Exactly. And we got to keep rolling forward.
Josh, it's good to see you here where you don't have a blue screen of death going on at least.
Well, yeah. And also, I think we got some pretty cool things we got some pretty cool things planned for this, and we got some pretty big things coming in the future.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a really good ride. So we hope everybody wants to join us with this as well.
It's gonna be good. You know what? We've never had video before. This is the only way we can do video is through Zoom. We got to figure that out when we can all get back together and get the video feed rock and rolling. But
yeah,
this is.
Well, I mean, this is good. At least it gives the guys, you know, anybody watching, you know, our 2-3 fans that we're going to get to view this 50 times each.
All 8 total. Yeah.
Yeah,
At least they can see it now.
300 times a piece.
Right.
So I think was it yesterday? What's today? The 25th.
The 25th. You betcha.
So yesterday for me is 6 months no alcohol.
Oh boy.
Speaking of which, I need to go refill my drink. You guys keep chatting.
I'm actually enjoying one of these though.
Yep. And you know what?
But
I'm the same way. I go long stints without drinking anymore.
well, you're allergic to it, though, aren't you?
I get weird hangovers for 3 days.
That's just called growing up.
Yeah, but like it feels like your insides are shedding. Like I can't do the hangovers anymore, and I came to terms with that eventually. It was like, you know what? Is it even worth the drinking?
It's because you have kids.
Yeah. Every once in a while, don't get me wrong. If we're out camping and I know damn well that the next 2 days I have nothing better to do than sit beside the toilet, I'll get liquored up. It's been a while.
You'll have yourself a strawberry daiquiri, and you'll be.
I have it
right up.
A couple of Mai Tais.
I'm gonna catch shit for this so fucking bad.
Ocean breeze.
I don't care. Like I had a White Claw with the old lady the other day. One White Claw, and I was feeling warm.
That's cool, man.
That's how long it's been since I've drank.
White Claws taste like TV stack.
They do.
They do. That's exactly.
It tastes like when your leg goes to sleep.
But somebody's yelling the name of a fruit from the kitchen or something like that.
Yeah. White
exactly.
Claws.
It's like skinny girl water, but alcohol.
It's like vegan drinking.
It's
like that's how vegans get wasted
around here.
Oh.
Yeah, well, pretty much. Yeah, no, I haven't had a drink since the last one.
Yep.
So you know.
And what about you, Chase? What's something positive happening around with you? Jesus, don't jump at the gun here.
Just living the dream.
I don't know. It's been the same since fucking day one of this pandemic. I've done the second thing. I've gone to work and I've come home. You know,
do
you need a hug or something?
I got to start some new plants.
Oh, there you go.
For spring.
Oh, there you go.
New strains.
I thought I was going to have
tomatoes.
to come give you a hug.
There you go. That's always good.
No, they're tomatoes.
I got a positive for the list here. My work finally gave me a work truck, so I don't have to haul around shit in my car anymore, which is nice.
That's a positive. Yeah. What do you do for? And you're a plumber.
I am a plumber. I work for Town and Country, plumbing and heating, and I finally got my own work truck. So because I was going on site and I was taking a goddamn huge jackhammer in the back seat of my fucking Ford Avenger or Dodge Avenger. Guys, it's a little crowded.
Could you imagine there? We're good. Could you imagine being on that job site and be like, "Hey, where's the plumber?" Yeah, he's just pulling up in the car here, and he's
the guy in the blue Avenger
out of the back seat of his car.
Yeah, well, sometimes it would be in the trunk. Depends if I had my tools in there or not.
Yeah, we really hired the professionals on this one.
You betcha, man. Oh, trust me, I show up looking professional. Like I don't get some dusty old truck. I got a sweet Dodge Avenger with a little bit of hail damage. Woo! No, but
it's
it was
still nicer
nice.
than some company vehicles I've seen drive around.
Oh well, the company vehicle I got, it's a nice big old GMC. So it's like I said, it's nice to not have to knock it around in my own truck or my own car because now I can actually clean the thing and it'll stay clean for a little while instead of being covered in dust all day.
And you don't have to smell like poo all the time.
I like to do that on my spare time,
Oh, fair enough.
Yes,
well, each to their own.
You guys are lucky we're not in a group right now. I've been farting this whole time.
That's not any different than when we are in a group.
Yeah, that's true.
When we got these plans to build.
What?
we got these plans to build a mobile podcast, little studio thing. converties or a bus or a camper or something like that, and I'm going to put one fuck of a ventilation system in that thing just for that sole purpose.
Oh
It's
yeah.
hooked right to the seat.
I'll plumb pipes from each seat to the outside, just so it's like a direct shoot.
Well,
If you have heat vision goggles, it'll look like the Predator.
we don't want to have any prolapse issues here while we're sitting down trying to have a podcast. All right.
Well, I'm just saying, if you do, you got somewhere to hang it, you know?
Oh my God.
Oh fuck!
Hanging brain
I'm
takes on a
so
whole new
glad
meaning.
that we're doing this again.
Yeah.
It is nice, boy. Like, here's a positive. We are back to doing the old podcast. I miss this shit. I know it's just us fucking ranting online and a few people listening, but this is one of my favorite things to do. And
We
I
kind
think
of slid off of our scheduled topics,
Yes.
but you know what? This is fine.
well, but now we've got the remote viewing, so we can actually keep it to once every 2 weeks. We can hopefully get a few of these out. And I think
you guys.
Yeah. And the guys, and we can have people join us too. If somebody wants to join us and shoot us a DM on our Facebook page at the Rec Room. And we'll see if we can collaborate somehow too.
Well, and speaking of that, Josh, the final part of each podcast we're going to call the third wheel. And why we call it the third wheel is we ask every time we have a podcast day, we put a suggestion board out on the Facebook page, and we ask people to give us suggestions of topics they like to hear us talk about. And we would like to invite them to be the third wheel on. So looking at the old page right now, we didn't get many to this today. We only got 2 people suggesting, so I think we can add them both on the third and fourth wheel.
We've been quite stagnant on our stuff for the past while, so it's understandable.
We're just kicking back.
Well, and it's
from
the first one we really did that's actually kind of following a structure. So that being said, we have Shauna Aaron, and she would like us to talk about the mixed signals guys give and why. And
here's what it is. We don't even fucking know we're doing it. That's it.
speak for yourself.
That's a total cop out.
I think that's
a total
signals are
cop-out.
like alcohol. If you don't mix them, it's gonna go straight to your head.
It's funny because so me and the wife, she could be talking to me, and I'm going, yep, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like actually coherent eye contact.
Yeah, you make it
I am
really
answering.
believable, right?
And then
It's
she goes,
not,
what do you think? And I go, about what? That's my definition of an in a relationship mixed signal. I'm sending the signal that I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah,
not.
here's my take on it. The men think with logic, women think with emotion. Men have the ability to turn their brain off and sit there and not think about anything. Women do not have that ability. Women are pissed off at men because they can do that and they can't. It's just a genetic thing. That's just what happens. I don't care if you agree with me or disagree with me.
You're gonna start a fight.
It's like the power saver mode on your laptop. We can just do that to our brain. It's still running, but it's at low capacity.
And the big major fact of it all is if somebody wants to be in your life, they will make the effort to be there in your life. And if they don't want to, then just keep trucking.
Exactly. Shauna, I think obviously this is coming from a place where some guy's giving you mixed signals. I say give him a clear one and just tell him to go fuck himself.
And you can
lead by example.
You know what? Get a hold of us and we'll do it for you.
Fucking rights. Give us his name and his number, and we will totally go to his house and hit him with bats.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, talk to him harshly. Talk to him harshly. Calm down. That wasn't a threat. You can't get that in court.
We'll get him with pool noodles.
There you go.
So did you guys ever see this thing, speaking of pool noodles, did you guys see this big thing on Facebook of last year? There's this guy named Josh on Facebook, and he found as many Joshes as he could find on Facebook and created one giant group message.
Were you on the list?
I was not on the list, but I had like 90 people like send me in Messenger. Oh, did you go to the fight? Did you go to the fight? And so they had the coordinates, and they had the giant fight of the Joshes. And it was
Did it actually happen?
Yeah, it did. It was thousands of people, and it was like pool noodles. There, everybody had his weapons, and apparently, I think the Josh that won. I think he was like a 12-year-old kid.
But everybody else has changed their name now.
Yeah, well,
Josh, you should have a local one.
you should.
And you know what?
Sask Josh.
Now that I've been thinking
Oh.
about it, there really isn't enough room in this province for more Joshes.
I have my money on you, buddy.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm just saying somebody's got to be ranked number one. You know, it's just like we were talking about fights earlier. Make a sport of it. You know.
Yeah, we could make a lot of money off of this.
You could be the heavyweight champ, bro.
Well, you know what? We should make a pay-per-view out of it. And
well, if you find another guy named Josh, I'll videotape you guys fighting.
Two of you, though. Not hundreds. Just two.
Get Jake to change his name. He'll fight you.
the first thing that you're gonna have to realize that when you organize this is you're gonna have to see me in the ring with the shirt off, and you're probably not gonna like that.
It's
Buddy,
impressive.
that's half
There's
the reason
no-
I suggested that I would do it.
Josh doesn't have any body hair whatsoever.
Oh man,
Here,
It's-
nothing.
we should
It's
make it a
literally-
grappling match because the guy won't be
I
able
have-
to hold on to you.
I have the body type of a seal, so it's
That's like trying to hug a dolphin.
Like a
I'm
12-year-old Dutch girl.
Whoa! Careful though, Chris Hansen.
now she's got more facial hair than me.
Yes.
Greta.
Oh,
All right. Well, now the next
covers that one.
third wheel we had on the suggested board, they went a little crazy. They did three, but Jackie, I want to say Pellet. I'm sorry, Jackie, if I'm saying your name wrong. She starts off with craziest places you've ever done the dirty.
in my
Boys.
bedroom, under the sheets and the blankets, in front of God, and
In
in
the
a
dark.
walk-in cooler.
Weirdest place.
What's your definition of crazy?
Well, that's I think it's subjective. You get to decide which is crazy.
Is it by yourself or with somebody else?
Ooh,
Now, I mean, sex with yourself is sex with somebody you real love. You know, so
That's right.
I think again it's subjective. You just say. I would say probably a dressing room at a clothing store.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, what's up? I had to see if it fit. Boom.
I don't know, comedy kind of boring. Nothing really wild for me.
Okay, well, like I said, she
Backseat of
did
the
give
truck,
us
that's about it.
she did give us a couple of options. She went crazy. So we did the first one, craziest places you've ever had done the dirty. Now, crazy exes. Now, Jackie, this isn't really a question, more of a statement, but yes, I think we've all had at least one.
Yeah.
I saw Chase's eyes kind of light up there. I'm thinking he's got more than one.
yeah.
Yeah. I think,
I'm tapping out of this one.
I mean,
well, I think it's just because it's going to cause more issues and it's going to cause entertainment if we talk about this one.
yeah. Well,
Well,
I've had
it'll be
my fair
entertaining for
share.
everybody else. I had, there is one that I had. We weren't dating for very long, but I think it was like all of like 3 or 4 months. Basically got flipped out on and slammed the door of my truck and almost broke my window and stormed off. And I was like, I guess that's done then.
Yeah, that's when it's time to be done. I think physical.
And-
violence or-
The fight was, I think the fight was over the fact that I didn't give her enough attention that night.
well, she got your attention, I guess. So you know.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I honestly, the women I've dated haven't been that crazy. I mean, sure, breakups are always hard and stuff like that, but I've never had a real I did have one girl that, like a long time ago when I was a young man, who tried to scare me into dating her by saying she was pregnant with twins, you know, and I had my head about me well enough that I proved it completely wrong. She was just lying, which I think is super scumbaggy, but yeah, that
Joke's
probably
on her,
would be
you
the
spit on her
craziest
back.
thing. Oh yeah. Okay, and to round it off, Jackie wants to know, what are the Wrecked Room's celebrity crushes?
Ooh.
Oh,
Jennifer Lawrence.
I'd have to go with the tried and true Tom Cruise. I mean, no, wait. Actually, no. I got a weird one. Diane Lane. I think Diane Lane is gorgeous. Yeah, exactly. Superman's mom. Yeah. I like me some Diane Lane. Classy lady.
I have two. One of when I was younger, in my adolescent, and started growing hair whenever I had hair before people that I really liked. One, Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Solid choice. She's a good looking lady.
And now I would have to say Anna Kendrick.
Ooh.
Yeah. Anna Kendrick. She just seems really cool. And
Yeah,
she's very good.
that's
looking.
exactly
Very good.
kind of person.
And fuck, did she ever have a set of pipes on her? Can that girl sing?
Yeah.
Woo.
She just seems really.
Yeah,
she
pipes.
just seems like really goofy, really quirky, really fun to be around type person.
Absolutely. Yeah, Anna Kendrick's a cool chick. I like her. Good
Well,
choice,
it's a
Josh.
tie between her and Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence?
Oh, Jennifer Lawrence would be good too.
Jennifer Lawrence is pretty, but if you ever seen her in like any kind of interview, she seems like she'd be a lot of drama. Like a girl who's constantly losing.
Weird. I'm into weird.
Yeah, well, like I said, she's a talented actress. She's very pretty, but yeah, I don't know, not my style. I like them a little more subdued, you know. I could have gone with a really inappropriate joke there, but we're trying to keep it clean.
There can only be one crazy person in a relationship.
All right, boys. Well, that is the end of the show. We went through First Blood, talking about the fights. We got the Second Wind, talking about the anti-vaxxers, and the Third Wheel. I think this show went pretty decent. We're coming up in about 45 minutes here. Is there anything else one of you guys want to say? Another topic we want to touch on before we wrap up?
I'm tapped out tonight.
Yeah. The big thing is mostly just everybody just keep your head up, keep going forward, keep your right foot forward, because this is going to still be a fucking struggle through all this bullshit. And watch for some bigger and better things coming from us, because we're going to have, we got our feet on the ground, and we're going to be doing some pretty cool things in the near future.
Yeah, I've had a few questions about, we have been on a podcast before, the 3 of us and 4 and 5 of us. The other guys couldn't be here today. Yes, we are the guys from the other podcast. We don't do that one anymore.
No.
Over to this one. This is where you can find us now. I've had a lot of people reach out and be like, when's your next podcast? And I'm like, wrong YouTube channel.
Yes. Well, and that's a good thing you bring up, Chase, because I think right now what we want viewership to know and people to know is we did start this off again. We're kind of back to square one. We're looking to make sure that every time you guys watch the video, please give a like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. That's our big goal right now. Once we hit that, we can start moving forward and doing some more stuff, bigger shows, more,
And for the most part, we're going to have some pretty good giveaways coming up.
Oh, too. Absolutely. Yes, we're definitely going to start doing some giveaways, gift cards, and so forth. And I think we could announce
some really good giveaways lined up.
We are going to be doing a $100 gift certificate giveaway for the first 1,000. Anybody who is subscribed in the first 1,000 subscribers is entered in. So like I said, get online, put subscribe down, and we will definitely be going and getting a gift card and giving it away to the first 1,000, to somebody within the first 1,000 subscribers.
And if you win, we can promise.
Not everybody.
And if you win, we can promise you'll get your prize.
Yeah, we promise you will actually get what we promised you.
Yeah.
Not like other podcasts that might not follow through with delivery. Just saying. All right, boys. Well, I think this was fun. We had a good time. And
we have a shout out for.
Yes, we did. We had a local band. Right. We have our shout out. We had a local band message us on the Rec Room. And this young lady asked if we could give them a shout out. Just one sec here. I gotta find.
Don't say her name. She doesn't want to be named. But
she doesn't want to be associated with them.
She wants to be anonymous.
But see, this is like the most like Saskatchewan goodbye ever. We're signing off here on this podcast. It's like
signing off, but hey, hold on 5 more minutes.
Yeah, it's like I gotta get my shoes on. All right, shoes are on. All right, we're gonna talk throughout the door for 5 more minutes.
You want another cup of coffee?
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, they're gonna follow me out to my car, and then I'm gonna start the car, and then we'll talk about the car for a few minutes.
Have a
and-
smoke and yeah. All right. Yeah. No, the band's name is Zen Heller, Zenheller. They're hard rock. They're a local band. We had one of our fans reach out and ask you to give us a shout out.
So here's your shout out. So everybody go check them out.
Actually,
like them on Facebook.
I listened to a couple of their songs on YouTube. They actually sound pretty damn good. They
on.
rock pretty good.
There we go.
There you go. I'm glad. Anyway, we did the shout out. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening to a bunch of guys ramble on about pretty much nothing, but having a good time doing it. Chase, Josh, good to see you guys. And remember, folks, get wrecked.